through our bodies. Each other. Hey, welcome. Welcome. Then we'll extend to the generational field who is so vast. Then we extend to the great yogis. Extend to them all the different lineages. And then we extend to the Sambhogakaya dimension, the deities, devas, and really, this is all like taking refuge. Refuge is entering oneness, huh? It's also Guru Yoga. We're all learning how to intensify. Pacify. You can pull. You can feel the column deep into the ground, all the way up. We can feel the samadhi of suchness, awareness. And then we can feel the samadhi of self arising that arises, and what they call spreading, extending, spreads through the body, spreads beyond. It really is the great compassion. And we can feel the samadhi of the syllables arising. Symbolic dimension of mind, forms and not words and letters. So actually, that syllables also help us understand text much, much better. It helps us it leads us into the symbolic dimension, so we're not so closed and disclosed. Lots of teachers, and all the great cities extend to their lineages. And all mix in our bodies. And now we're going to hear the music. Hey, welcome. And we're going to do it a little slow. Some people have to leave a little early today. And we'll record this little talk. So glad everybody here. A little wetness. Good to see everyone. Thank you guys for coming. Here we are. And today we've been focusing on death and the alaya, deathlessness and awareness, which is Rigpa. And as we know, the self-realization, the secret self-realization and not so secret realization of the Guru is one's own Rigpa. And the essence of Dzogchen is Guru Yoga, and not unlike the essence of Shaivism, is Guru Yoga. And the essence of the Guru, that process of the Guru. Guru's not a thing. Guru's not an entity. Guru's not a person. The essence of the Guru is becoming aware of awareness. That process of becoming aware of awareness. Rigpa is the Guru. Your own Rigpa is the primordial Guru. The self-revealing, luminous awareness. The self-manifestation of awareness is the manifestation of the Guru. Within yourself, and within yourself as the translucidity, the light of knowingness. So also taking refuge. In taking refuge, we take refuge within awareness as our own awareness, becoming aware of awareness. Because awareness itself is the primordial Guru. So we enter that. And that's how we begin doing Guru Yoga, entering into it over and over again, and then taking refuge in the manifestation of this Guru, how it's manifesting in us and around us and through others, the same self-awareness. This is how Padmasambhava thinks about it. Okay? So that's how Swami Muktananda thought about it. And many, many great Dzogchen masters, Namkhe Norbu, to name a few. We take refuge through extension or spreading of the self-arising awareness within our bodies and beyond our bodies. We now extend the light to the light. We enter into the oneness of the Guru, and from within that oneness we extend to the Guru and others, to the light in others. All those extensions, all that spreading, self-arising, that is really true refuge. That is the most simple practice. And then we also extend to all the enlightened masters, living and non-living, who embody the Guru so transparently. And then we extend to the archetypical manifestations, the Sambhogakaya, the deities, the Devas, Dakinis. We extend to them. Primordial Guru at Sambhogakaya level, Namanakaya level Gurus, Sambhogakaya level Gurus. So the Sambhogakaya manifests as the Guru's deity, as energy, luminous energy, even manifesting in archetypical forms, those symbols, those seed syllables. And that is why you and I extend to the generational field as the Guru, within our own families and friends and other people. So, because Guru Yoga means you enter the state, and from that place you extend awareness. You enter that state of openness, luminous openness, or sometimes emptiness, or spaciousness, or knowingness, gnosis. You enter it, you get close to it, and you practice it. Of course, if you and I are locked in the encapsulated mind at that moment, you're only approaching Guru Yoga in a certain real way because you're not in the state. You're approaching it. You're at the door, as Yen Chen would say. You're at the door of Qigong, but you haven't quite entered yet. I'm glad you're at the door of Qigong, but you have to go a little further. You have to practice to enter Qigong. The same thing with Guru Yoga. You have to practice to promote that awareness. Doesn't mean you're a realized person to do Guru Yoga, but you feel it. You get glimpses of it. You're in it right now. You're in awareness of awareness. It's infinite horizon, You just have to have your knees in it. And you extend. Of course, if you're only in your mind and you approach Guru Yoga, but you're not quite through the doorway, as Dr. Yen would say, you're in the doorway of Qigong. You're not quite in the Qigong stage yet. As you become aware, then you can have all sorts of unevenness happen, because then you're into fame, glory, self-promotion, looking for the fame, glory, being liked, not being liked, dogland. All sorts of things happen if you're in the mind. Your entire history can come forth at that moment, and play it out. Just like I think we can project it. Bhagavan Nityananda used to say, fame is the most dangerous thing for the yogi. Not like Ramakrishna said, golden women, or golden men, but rather fame. Either going for fame in the guru, right, or trying to be famous yourself. It is the great distraction from the path, because it places you in the level of narcissism. It places you in the level of secondary. It places you in that which is the substitution for primordial awareness itself. You follow this? Very seductive. So to be in fame, you have to really be in the field, really, So it's what's it called? Not self-promotion. Advertisement. PR. You with me? The eternal PR. You with me? Which our country's great with. So as you become aware of awareness, Rigpa, you become aware of the Guru. It is not always fun. It is not always fun. Because the Guru is sunyata. There's different. Sunyata means different things in different traditions. Sutra, it means one thing. It means one thing, and the Tantra means one thing in the Dzogchen traditions. But because as you become aware of awareness, you will experience no thingness. Sometimes it's just shocking to feel the no thingness, without any reference. There's no reference in Dharmakaya. There's no reference point. Okay, just unbound spaciousness. Openness. And sometimes it goes from different words like, oh, nothingness, oh, emptiness, oh, spaciousness, oh, this sublime openness. Different languages at different moments of our experience of primordial awareness. Sometimes it's falling, and falling. That's not fun. Sometimes it's falling unconsciousness. There's no reference. And sometimes in the background of our experience, as we approach it, it arises. It feels like death itself. It's like dying, leaving. Or sometimes more profound than that, you feel the total contingency of everything. As this vast opening opens within your body and around you. And the complete contingency has nothing to stand with, And to be authentic in that is really not easy. So we do a lot of running at that moment. And we love being obsessive compulsive at that moment. You with me? Or we love being grandiose and think if we're in the God realm we'll be okay. Or all sorts of things. A lot of addictions arise. A lot of things happen to people as the primordial awareness begins to seep into their experience. Sometimes it's just totally terrifying. And you run. You just run. You with me? Into unconsciousness. There's a kind of dread with it. There's a kind of dread. It's the dread of dissolving. It is the dread of death. And the dread of non-beingness. And it has a saturating quality. Because it's just so muchness. Just like when we felt that a couple of months ago, when we felt that arising of the Dharmakaya. So the Dharmakaya really and truly is not simply a nice thought-free state. Sometimes it's said that way to go further. The thought-free state sometimes is a psychological state. It's really great. It's peaceful. It's sitting by the river. Birds chirping. Burp. But actually Dharmakaya is a cosmic state. You're actually stepping through psychology into cosmology, Unbound. And the first time you step through psychology into cosmology, it is a stunning, saturating experience. You want to get out of there. Okay? It is thought-free. It's mind-free up to a point. And then you learn to integrate your mind into primordial awareness itself. Are you okay with this? But we all go bit by bit, step by step. Sometimes we call the first samadhi is often described. The first samadhi, suchness, space, stillness, potential. Just feel the potential. Actually, in truth, the Dharmakaya is sheer potentiality. It is potential. Total. It's the plenum of the Neoplatonicus, the plenum in the medieval, the plenum, the fullness, potential. And then it rises. We can feel the rising of the self-arising, which is compassion. Hello, and it rises in generativity, and it flows through the body into others. That is actually the Guru. That is Guru Yoga right there. That is the Guru Yoga with action. Arising generativity. Okay? And in a certain way, as you go into the Dharmakaya, it is the deathless state. It is a state of deathlessness. And sometimes you and I will go into that state while we're alive and enter the deathless state. And then what's remarkable, sometimes we go through death to enter the deathless state. So I'm going back to where we were last week. Sometimes we go through death, just like the doorway of Qigong. Huh? Sometimes to get through it, you can't get the doorway when you're alive, some people. So at the moment of death, the door of Qigong opens, the door of the Dharmakaya opens. Okay? For some. Because the deathless state is unborn, undying, beyond coming and going, beyond appearing and disappearing. So the Dharmakaya is the primordial Guru. There's the Guru as Sambhogakaya. There's Guru as Namanakaya. That's each other and great. And there's the Guru as Dharmakaya, which is the unbound, unborn, without any categories, unbound, without reference. And as you pass through that, you feel the dissolving process unfolding. It can be very stunning and saturating. And sometimes as you're dissolving into that dark sea, you grab onto anything you can. You with me? Sometimes it could be the worst thing possible in your life, but something is better than nothing. Two awarenesses are better than one, to feel some connection. That's why extension is a fantastic practice for entering into the Dharmakaya. Because through extension, you feel the oneness at Namanakaya level, you feel oneness even at Sambhogakaya level, and that allows us to feel the oneness at the Dharmakaya level. It's not so stunning. If you leap from encapsulation into the Dharmakaya, it's a lot. And in our lives, many of us can experience the Namanakaya realization more, and then we feel that Dharmakaya, the Sambhogakaya. Then we have to kind of sit for a while to experience the full-blownness of Dharmakaya. And in other days it would be different than that. Monks would just sit for weeks in dark places, months, years, just sitting in the darkness. Huh? Not much movement. So Dharmakaya rises. Then they body Sambhogakaya, and then Namanakaya. With me? But in our time, it's a bit of a reversal. There's lots of us all the time. I hope you guys are following. This is a talk on Guru Yoga right now, the essence of Guru Yoga. And the essence of the Guru is becoming aware of your own awareness, or Rigpa as the Guru, the self-revealing light of awareness. Now, so at the moment of death, back to where we were last week, at the moment of death, we've been looking into that, peering into it, gazing into it. As our mind and body continuum begins to dissolve, the alaya field, which we spoke about, color, is there, and you're dissolving into the alaya, and from the alaya you dissolve into primordial awareness itself. And at death you're dissolving into the Dharmakaya. Your first dissolving is the Dharmakaya. And you say you have some sense of the Dharmakaya, and you have some sense of the samadhi of self-arising awareness. So you feel the resonance. You've been practicing Guru Yoga, you feel extension. So as death arises, you feel all that luminous support from the refuge, from all those people, aunts and uncles, grandfathers, grandmothers, all these people, friends. Then you go to the great yogis and their lineages, and then you go to the different Buddhas and Siddhas and different traditions, all the archetypes, gods and goddesses, all the different traditions. And then you go into the higher realms, and all these realms. Guru Yoga is everything. Infinite horizons. It is not one person. It can definitely be one of the persons, but it's not just one person. Padmasambhava says that, huh? So having one person is really great. You with me? And having a root teacher is great, and meeting great gurus, teaching, and having that relationship is great. But just don't think it's one. You want to open the door up. So your awareness dissolves. So at the moment of death, your awareness will dissolve into the Dharmakaya briefly. Pure openness, pure potential, vast infinite potential. The great mother, huh? And they say you leap or you fall into the mother's lap because of something. You know it and you fall into it. You leap into awareness itself. You leap. That's what Togal actually means, the practice, or leaping practice. So you're a leaper. Yes, leaping. Forever in non-dual awareness. Home completely. And yet you still feel the connection, the oneness, with all one, everyone who you have refuge with. Because the doorway is so thin. I'll mention that dream again. One day, I had this dream. This is for people who just haven't been here for a while. And I'm having this dream, and there's Baba over there, and a little screen, and there's someone laughing and talking. They're talking about death. Two old guys talking, and they're talking how thin the wall between life and death is. It's so thin. It's just so permeable. It's almost not even there at all. And yet, if you're in our mind, it's infinite. The gap is impossible. It's infinite. It's almost like absolute gap if you're only in your mind. But if you have the gift of awareness, then it's so permeable. And they were laughing and laughing, and wow, and I walk, what a fantastic dream. I wondered, who is that person? Could I sound familiar? Then the next morning I found it, Kunzing Daichen Limpa had died, in the afternoon. So I just love that dream so much. You with me? And so that dream comes up with this talk, okay? Now, some, as the great texts go into unconsciousness, because the Dharmakaya is so stunning, so saturating. And I have a little article on the blog on saturation and stunningness, speaking of consciousness. And I'm going to try and, this is an infomercial, I'm going to try and go from the blog there to get a journal going. But of course, I would love for you all to participate in. And but on the saturating and stunningness, make no mistake about it, mysticism is saturating and stunning, okay? It is not all fun for Bonzo, okay? It is not all happy little smiles, flowers, So it's stunning and saturating at times, and you can only bear it so much, and then you fall back into unconsciousness. That's why for a lot of people, if you read these texts, they describe, the first phase of death is unconsciousness. That is not true in my omnipotent opinions, okay? The first phase is really you meet the Dharmakaya, you with me? And it's the first fundamental option where you just lean in, just like we lean into each other, just like we lean into you, lean into it. And then you're into the oneness, okay? And you may go unconscious at that time. Doesn't mean you're a bad dog. It's all the same thing. There is no difference. There is no necessary hierarchy. You have to talk about this in some degree of evenness, or you really are going up the wrong place. Totally. Then, if you're and some people just dissolve into the Dharmakaya, and that's it. Narrative completed. Some go into the Dharmakaya and embody it, and out of the embodiment, then there's an awakening into Sambhogakaya. You're actually following creation one more time in your life. You're going through the entire creative moment one more time. Then you're into Sambhogakaya. Or if you happen to fall out unconscious, it's a little too much, you then come into Sambhogakaya. We all come into Sambhogakaya, the heavenly realms. And then we start experiencing the realm. And often we'll meet companions. That's why Guru Yoga is really useful. All that extension and love, and then you might meet a father or a mother or a friend or some companion. You with me? Or you might meet your guru, a great teacher arises. You with me? Or you may meet everybody. Raise that up, please. That little picture, that little thing there. Huh? There's a little thing, but yeah. That's a Dusha Rinpoche lineage. But you might meet this whole flock of people there in that dimension. You with me? And you will feel the energy pulling you into it. You will feel the pull. You will actually feel a pull into the Sambhogakaya dimension. You with me? You will feel pulling you into it, and then you wake up and you will see companions of the different people. You will feel teachers, and you will also feel, in time, you'll start feeling deities. It's a little bit more assimilatable. You will see deities arising, beneficent ones. You'll feel fierce ones. You with me? Because this world is a cosmological, beneficent, and fierce place. You with me? And you will feel yourself integrating them. You with me? If you've had out of practice, you're integrating everything more. C'est moi, c'est moi, c'est moi, c'est moi. Even in your friends, you feel the oneness of the oneness. It is all the Guru illuminating itself to you in the drama, the cosmological drama. Now, at this point, some will say, this is great. Your alaya will pull you into, say, a realm. Say for some reason you love Jesus. You just love Jesus. You love Jesus. You've always loved Jesus. And so then you find yourself going into this dimension. You with me? This luminous dimension, huh? And there you are, in the heart of Jesus. There's the divine heart, right there, divine heart. And you may stay there for centuries, or you may stay there for a while and embody that, and then the pull of Namanikaya takes you back, especially if you're a bodhisattva. Or you may find yourself just sort of visiting Sambhogakaya. What is that? What's going on? And then you're right into Namanikaya. You sleep right into Namanikaya, and you come out as a fish in the Gulf. What's going on? Okay. Or you might be there. You might love Amitabha. You've done the practice. You just love Amitabha, huh? The divinity as light, Or all these different articulations, archetypical articulations, are these infinite realms, infinite dimensions. And you feel yourself even being in 7 at the same time. It's not like you're rather non-local at this moment, okay? You guys follow this, okay? And it's also a time of the deeper realization of Sambhogakaya, okay? So you've been pretty good at Namanikaya, now you have Sambhogakaya. You know the symbolic realm completely, okay? And then you start getting organized. You might stay there for ever, which may be 2 minutes, okay? And then you start to come back because of your alaya, your destiny, your years, your centuries of how you've built. And again, past life is not a photograph book. It's not photos. It is not photos. Past lives are fields. Kaya is a field that you are primordial awareness in a field. I am primordial awareness in a field. In that way it is true. Subjectivity is pure openness. My personal subjectivity is pure openness in the mind and body, and that mind and body is in the alaya field. Are you with me? And that field is a manifestation of primordial awareness, Sambhogakaya and Namanikaya. So even in dissolving. So this is not certain forms of thinking where that's it, hasta la vista, baby. There's nothing else whatsoever. It's not a nihilistic approach, and yet it is and yet there is some basis to understand how you're coming back this way. You with me? And don't think about it as just good or bad karma. Don't think about it simply in terms of causality, okay? Causality will put you in a strange frame of reference as right or wrong, good or bad dog, and that type of thinking is certain type of traditions have that. This type of tradition, you're not going to think about it that way. You think about it as a base of experience that's arising and has resonance to it, and it's manifesting in you in a certain givenness. And now here it's manifesting. You've had the good fortune that your alaya is primordial awareness, and you are at home in the alaya. Primordial awareness, and you at home in Sambhogakaya, and primordial awareness, and you are totally at home in the Manakaya. You with me? Because you have unfolded that way and have been given that way. Unfolding and givenness are so close, so close. Raise your hands if this is making much sense, okay? Good. Okay. Deshawan, huh? The realm of Amitabha. There's a beautiful book called The Flower Ornament. It's a fat book. It's a summation. It's really it's actually a Chan Buddhist book, but it's very in Dzogchen. It is a summation of the Mahayana. It is a fantastic book, and it has all these different dimensions. It's a universal book, you know. All the different traditions are held in that book. A-okay? So then, so one may awaken in the Dharmakaya and dissolve for there in oneness, or one is in the oneness of the Dharmakaya and then experiences awakenings manifest as Sambhogakaya. And sometimes you read this stuff and it's very terrifying. It's like, oh my God, Uncle so-and-so is going through the Sambhogakaya. But really, one's going, there's the bad, there's the fierce entities, and there's the beneficent ones. But that description is designed to scare you. Actually, the person's in the Sambhogakaya dimension. There's a big difference. Do you follow what I mean by this? For some reason, religion always wants to terrify people around death. You with me? I think it helps the collection basket. Really and truly. I think terror is a major motivation of religion. I have a very distorted opinion, okay? But I think terror is a major thing, and it really does bring people into terror. You with me? And actually and it increases the natural terror of the arising of Dharmakaya, and just makes it now institutionalized terror in your alaya, okay? So you want to overcome that like now, okay? There's always the one and the many in oneness, okay? And then you come back into the Manakaya. And you should think about this a little bit. It's not like you're making a intentional decision like Ayn Rand would have you, okay? Or this is it, my intention is to come back, okay? It's not quite so mental, okay? The decision, it is not mental. It is attunement at the level of awareness where that operates. It is not a mental decision. It's not meant to. It's not dissociated. It's the attunement to Allah. It's an attunement of oneness where you have a sense. And you actually feel this fantastic pull. You feel desire to. You with me? And it's all valid. Some people feel they want to be in the... You guys follow what I'm saying? Desire has a great realm. Desire is not a nasty thing. Everything arises out of desire. All of creation is desire. Sambhogakaya and Manakaya all arises out of divine desire. You know? Ikta Shakti, the Shakti of it. You guys doing okay with this? Okay. So some remain infinity and some move into Namanakaya. And their laya is vastly illuminated, and they incarnate in the context of a laya. So everybody's very fortunate here. Everybody's had lots of empowerments, different traditions. Everybody has an understanding. And in the tradition, Dzogchen is understanding. It is not necessarily conceptual understanding. It is not ideation understanding, but it is understanding. Gnosis, perception, and experience are understanding. Non-conceptual understanding. Now, to articulate it, you can have understanding and think about it. Or another way, as the arising of the symbols arise, the symbols start arising, the seed syllables arise, the energy arises. It starts opening up that dimension of the power of the energy of primordial awareness, like light or courage, all this stuff arising in you. Then it opens up the symbolic dimension. It's not that you're just reading text. You are in that dimension of the text where the text was written, you're in that direction, and the symbolic dimension opens. So like when the yogi holds that thing, and the symbolic transformation is not like a sign. You see that little thing there, that little crystal? You want to just hold the crystal? That's a symbol of that's a symbol that invokes primordial awareness, okay? So that great perfected state. So it's not like your mind thinks, oh, crystal, oh, this. That would be a representation. Symbolization is not representational thinking. It is a direct experience of that dimension through a form. You with me? It's like if you go to a great piece of art, and then someone's saying, well, this means that, and that means that, and this means that, and that. And you go to a literary critic. That's not, it is a direct, so if you stand in front of a tanka, you'll have a direct experience of that which the tanka is displaying without going through your representational mind. Raise your hands if that's making sense. The same thing sometimes with mantras and things like that. You start the mantra opens up to you, or the chant opens up to you, and you have a direct experience of what the chant is symbolizing. Everybody understanding this? The same thing with Sambhogakaya dimension. We're almost done. So of course, Guru Yoga, extension, is such a great practice. Or spreading is such a great practice. For if you're established in extension, you're established in the generosity of extending the light of your own awareness into everyone and everything. As you enter the Dharmakaya through the doorway of death, you're in oneness already. And you feel the companionship, you feel the support as you enter that. You feel the Guru's support of primordial awareness itself. Extension is the cultivation of oneness through resonance. It is the same as the self-arising awareness. The samadhi of compassion, wherein the energy arises within you and goes beyond the body to everyone. The inner yin meeting the outer yin. All that extension is the inner yin meeting the outer yin. All that resonance is the inner yin meeting the outer yin. As you know, Yesayana, that is realization, okay? So it is also described as the yoga. My grandson's Indian. The yoga of radiance and absorption. There's different metaphors for this. So when you hold that oneness together, there's radiance and reabsorption. There is the profound state of giving and receiving at the same time. It is not big dog giving to little dogs. With me, it is giving and receiving at the same time in a multidimensional way. So you extend through your body, you extend through the generational field. People you've known in the 8th grade, the people. You extend before you, people who you're mentoring, whatever form that is. You extend behind you, the mentors who mentored you, all the people. I'm not just talking about yogis with outfits, but all these people, all this humanness. The natural light is humanness. There's a transmission beyond words and letters, which is human awareness itself. That is the Buddha. Bodhidharma statement. All the sentient beings. There's also a transmission that is words and letters. That is human consciousness itself, because human language is intrinsic to human consciousness. And also animal consciousness. That is also the Buddha. A-okay? So this is a infomercial on why you want to practice extension. You with me? And overcome the solipsism. There's solipsism of the mind, and there's a certain solipsism of being in the field that has a self-achievement orientation. You with me? That has located itself in the spiritual realm, and this will not be very good for you. Okay? It's a dreadful opinion. So a lot of spirituality is another form of self-achievement. A lot of spirituality, consciousness, can be another form of self-achievement. So you have to watch it as it edges into self-improvement, okay? And for certain ways, it's really useful to self-improve yourself. But in another way, you have to be very careful with self-improvement, because it's simply your superego, your internalized, not good enough superego, that's still berating you. More boy, more dog. More, not enough, almost, so, then you'll be loved. So Western psychology and Western forms of psychoanalytic thinking have a lot to offer spirituality in understanding such things as cutting through spiritual materialism, which is Trungpa's greatest book. Another opinion. You guys understanding this? So the refuge, infinite refuge, is so great, and is the practice of the Bodhisattva. Huh? So you really want to feel yourself practicing Guru Yoga, and you want to feel yourself practicing extension, or whatever word you want to use, but you want to go beyond the body boundaries. That will open up the encapsulation of your mind. And you, as you get to have some feel of energy, you will see people who have a lot of energy, but they're in a vortex, an ascendant or vortex that doesn't go beyond their body boundaries. You will see people in ascendant vortexes. They look like a little vortex. And it's an ascendant vortex, but it doesn't go beyond the body boundaries. You with me? It has the vertical dimension, but not the horizontal dimension. And that will give a person something, you with me? But it will not give you Nirmanakaya completion. It will not give you Swambhikakaya. I'm saying as if I know this stuff, okay? It will not give you Swambhikakaya realization, and it will not give you Vajra Kaya. There's 5 Kayas. You can enter into Sambhogakaya dimension, okay? But you will not enter into Nirmanakaya dimension. Nirmanakaya is a very horizontal dimension, you with me? And really, you won't have a completion of seeing everything as complete evenness, you with me? So you'll be a yogi who only believes in Dharmakaya. I'm out of here. I'm going to Dharmakaya. Can't wait to get out of here. Oh, gee. Phew, 20 more years, okay? Hmm? Oh, gee. Or they think that Sambhogakaya, divine visions and gods, are just phantasmagoria. They don't know the difference between a vision and fantasy. A lot of people don't know that difference, so they think they're fantasies or visions. They don't know the difference. You with me? You guys see what I'm talking towards? And they don't really feel that seeing human beings and being in this world is divinity itself. You with me? Or if they see it, they don't see the incarnated of the flesh. They might see the emptiness of it, but they don't see the light in the flesh. You with me? And so they become very detached. Actually, you can become very detached in a schizoid way and actually have some degree of realization in the Dharmakaya, as bizarre as that sounds. You with me? So there's different traditions at different times. You with me? So the epic, I have so many opinions. I wouldn't believe half of this. If I were you, I would not believe much of this. Just hear it as a rambling rhetoric, okay? Epics are the Alayas, and what took place in the 2nd century is not exactly the same Alaya that's taking place in 21 BC. Okay? So Alayas and realization of divine light. You with me? Just have your different teachers and different traditions and different understandings at different times, because there's different epics that are appearing. This epic, has its own story to it. It hasn't been quite matched, really and truly, with the coming of the industrial age and the coming of the technological age. This is a thing unto itself. It has enormous power. Are you with me? And for 2,000 years, Herbie said, we're under the Piscean age, even 2025. For long, it's pretty much written history under the Piscean age. Royalty, spirituality, healing, together. Are you with me? This is Saturn. Much, much different. Much different. Tough in its own way. But it's quality consciousness, even complete. It's even. That's why Dzogchen, the great master Dzogchen Shaivism, where evenness, equality consciousness is the primary teaching. Equalness is the primary teaching. Non-hierarchical. None, what they call the things where you have a different caste, non-caste. You with me? Neither is arising right now. Hope everybody's okay with this. Here we are. And I'm going to read 2 more things to you. You guys enjoying this morning? Are you getting something out of death? You want to have a sense of death. You want death in your right hand and the Guru in your left hand, or right about it, and actually they're the same thing. The deathless state and the Guru are exactly the same. There is no difference between the two. The deathless state. Sometimes you have to go through death to get to the deathless state. Or sometimes you can be sitting in a room, even like this, and suddenly death arises, and suddenly the deathless state arises. And you're stunned. What's happening here? What's going on here? Help me, man. Arises and opens. Huh? Or sometimes you're by yourself. And it just arises. It comes to you. It's given, you know. Everybody doing okay with this? So I'll just read a few things to you. This is the sea of compassion energy pervades all sentient beings, and even the gods and the Nagas. The Nagas are like the sea gods, okay, are protectors of its truth. And great beings who themselves have the realization of the true nature of things, accomplished through great bliss. Bliss is path. Huh? Went the Dharmakaya and bliss. Dharmakaya, light, bliss, light, oneness, great compassion, all within the Dharmakaya. That's why as you enter Dharmakaya, it is a lot. But as we learn to hold it, we're learning to hold it with the Vajravaspati. We will feel nothing but light in it, and we'll feel nothing but bliss in it. Huh? So death is cool. You really want to feel, okay. It's an extension of where we're at right now. Not that big a difference. Great beings who themselves have the realization of the true nature of things accomplished through great bliss can, through their own awareness, bring about the understanding of the realization and the awareness of fortunate people. What this is talking to is great beings, and by great beings, they don't just mean siddhas, who are great beings. They mean everyone is a great being, and everyone has the capacity through great bliss. Om Ab Hung Bodhicitta Mahasukha Yana Dhatu A. Through their awareness, to bring about the understanding of this realization into the awareness of fortunate people. They're actually talking about resonance, extension, Guru Yoga in this moment. Raise your hands if you understand it. You don't have to agree with it, okay? Not necessarily talking about giving good talks or doing rituals. Okay? And phenomena and awareness are from the very beginning without duality. So the phenomenal awareness arising within me, arising outside of me, is the same awareness arising, right? It's the same oneness arising within me and outside me. That's non-dual awareness. Arising within me, arising outside of me, arising through me, the light, the space, oneness. Easy to understand, easy to lean into, easy to have. Since despite searching for it, one does not find this nature, okay? It's hard to say it's like this or like that, going back to Padmasambhava. But you have a sense of it. You know it from itself. You know knowingness from knowingness. You know awareness from awareness. You know awareness from awareness. Compassionate energy's manifestation pervades everything and pours out a great rain of love upon sentient beings. That's what your practice of extension is, huh? It is the great compassion. It's not a sentiment, huh? It's not an emotion, an affect like that. It rises from you, and it's blissfully being present. And when meditation and that which is experienced in meditation are without duality, means your own awareness and your awareness of awareness is in oneness. Blissfully being present in this state of the absolute is the awareness of enlightenment. Being present in the absolute. And awareness or meditation in this immaculate, or this untouched, this pure awareness is non-distraction. which means ultimately you and I are learning non-distraction, which means ultimately we're more and more in the embodiment of awareness and we're not getting distracted because we're in it and our mind is in it and our body's in it, and whatever arises is arising in our awareness. At one time we felt it arise outside of our awareness, but that is no longer the truth. It arises in our awareness. It arises in our awareness. It's all very simple. And also, because of you've been practicing Guru Yoga, extending the boundaries of your awareness, it is now much more infinite than it ever has been. You with me? It's to your generational field. So you should have some courage, okay? And if you don't practice this, really and truly, I think you're wasting your time in this seminar. I must tell you, we're ending it finally. We'll start again in September, coming soon. But really and truly, if you don't practice this, you should go some other place and get somebody else's opinions. There are a lot of them. Much more idiosyncratic, much less idiosyncratic than mine. This is an idiosyncratic thing. And I really mean, if you don't practice it. You with me? I don't mean you have to be on the stupid internet or anything like that, But if this doesn't really move you, you're wasting your time and money. And it's just the truth of it. You with me? So, and I don't mean this to any one person. We all love each other here. But if this whole practice of extension and now using other language and the compassion of self-arising awareness and its spreading, and this is not your cup of tea, don't come for the social import of it. It's very little social import here. You guys follow what I'm saying here? I'm totally serious about this. That then we can move ahead here. You with me? Then we can move ahead in our esoteric undertaking. You with me? And then we'll have a set here where we can move ahead. But this is not for everybody. This is really not for... You can go to 97 Dzogchen teachings and you're not going to hear anything about extension. Okay? You can go to all kind of empowerments, you're not going to hear anything about extension. That doesn't bother me one iota. Okay? You guys follow what I'm saying? And I happen to have a course where I always like less is better. It's a very strange thing. You with me? So I love everybody here. I really mean that. I'm glad we're all here. We're coming to an end. But if you like this, if you really like it, then come. You with me? And if you're like, I don't want to do this, I don't like extension, I haven't done it in 3 months, then go do something else. That can't be any more explicit. I mean, it's for everybody. You with me? And because this is ultimately a relational course on the nature of awareness. You with me? And a relational course. Now, I don't think I've made all of this up. You with me? Because I have some great teachers. I've been very, very fortunate of having great teachers. I'm serious. But quid recipitur est, which means whatever is received through the mind of the receiver. So even though I've had great teachers and have great teachers, you with me? And a totally not realized person, it's embarrassing even to say that, okay? It all comes through my mind. But if you like this, then let's move ahead with it. You with me? But if you're coming for friendship, this is not really good, or this is not a social moment. Okay? It's a relational moment, but it's pre-interpersonal in a lot of ways. And its pre-interpersonalness is where the power is here. You with me? This is not advertising, it's not fame, it is not glory. I take all that very seriously, that kind of stuff. We're on the internet, not for fame and glory. I want to say that, because all that brings is a lot of nuts. Do you understand what I'm saying? The bigger the group, the more difficult things will become for people. So I'm not talking about diagnosis either. But so I like people, I really like us where we can work together and we move further. So the condition will be, we're upping the antes, the condition will be is you have to meditate, and the condition will be you have to practice Guru Yoga, extension, okay? And we'll say it to everybody. And if you don't practice that, This is not your cup of tea. You with me? And if you practice Guru Yoga, which is one being who you practice to and you love that, that's a totally valid, absolute path. They're all valid. It's just not here. This okay with everybody? Have I beat it into ground too much? So think about it, okay? And then I'm also, if we get this a little, I ask people to write and talk, and we have more people teaching on the internet and things like that. Because I like this sort of thing. I really think it's useful. So now we're going to hold awareness together, and I'm going to read you one more thing, and then we'll do this, okay? The secret realization of the Guru as your own Rigpa. Ah, to my own Rigpa is the Lotus King, or the Lotus Queen, huh? Self-recognition goes for refuge. I love that phrase. Self-recognition goes for refuge. For living beings who wander in bewilderment, the awareness of the great self-liberation is generated. It's given for all of us who wander in bewilderment. And for the primordial Guru, already pure, the hosts of obstructive fictional discriminations do not even have a name. So at this level, there's no discrimination in the primordial Guru. At the Dharmakaya, there's no discrimination. Okay? So all those discriminations I was mentioned, and you have to forget about them a bit, okay? In the great Dharmata, the very essence of events, the essence of this event, all the events, is infinite self-produced gnosis, giving individual protection. So the event you're in right now, the event as you leave, okay, all the events is the great Dharmata, the infinite universe of light and energy. It's the infinitely self-produced gnosis is producing this in you right now as self-protection. We're always looking, what is self-protection? And sometimes we need it more often than others. And in a Saturn-Mars conjunction like we're in right now, we need the great self-protection is primordial awareness, the Guru. Okay? Jnana Raksa Hum. It means knowledge. Jnana is really juicy. Okay? Fun. Rasa. Events appearing via the six senses. Via the six senses. Here they come, via the six senses. Touch, smell, all you guys. Namanakaya. Senses. Events appearing through the six senses, unobstructed, means without so much, okay? Free from compulsive grasping is the art of Rigpa. Experiencing all this sensuous world, huh? All you, everybody, right here and now. Feeling the luminous resonance. Feeling and seeing the flesh. Feeling pain and love. Feeling the entire range, huh? Is the art of Rigpa itself, becoming aware of awareness. And when the widespread purity of existence and appearance arise, you begin to experience the purity of existence. Like we are now, if we can feel that in each other. You with me? Even if you don't practice Guru Yoga, okay? If you can feel the purity of existence in everything, the essence of the earliest Dzogchen teachings were Kadig, the purity and the evenness of existence. Purity and evenness. One time Baba Muktananda was saying, never ever feel bad about yourself. Always feel the purity of your being and always feel the evenness of existence. And then he went into people who talk about other people are just pieces of rotten shit. They just smell, they're full of shit. You can't believe what a shitty thing. And one brave says, excuse me, Swami Muktananda, you just said everybody's pure and even should never feel bad about themselves. And then the people who talk about each other are the most rotten pieces of shit. He says, that's true. If you're a rotten piece of shit, you should still know how pure you are. You should never feel uneven or bad about yourself. That was the essence of the non-dual teachings of a great yogi, okay? I'm serious. That is the essence of the teachings. So even if you don't practice, you might be able to come, okay? So, when the widespread purity of existence and its appearances arise, the great blessings of singular gnosis arise. So he keeps putting back, the author, she is, that gnosis is singular. It's both universal, but it's in that body, 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 it's in that flesh, it's in that story. You with me? The narrative does count. You with me? Actually, you are here. you know. Yana avisham fam, it means gnosis is pervasive, okay? Ah, the already self-produced truth of Padmasambhava, transcending fixation on face and limbs. Okay, so he's saying, really don't get so locked into the details of face and limbs, and you're really preoccupied. Is the vastness of the youthful vast body. What you really want is to feel the youthful vast body, the body of light arising, which everybody here feels somewhat, right? Yes. Rigpa's art, again, the art of Rigpa, the art of becoming aware of awareness, all pervading from the start, is the perfection of the three kayas, or the completion of the three kayas. So as soon as you get a little bit of Rigpa, the three kayas are already perfect in you and manifesting. And the next time you come, I'll give you a copy of this. In fact, I think, because I know you were leaving, I have a copy right here, if we can find it. Let us see. Hold on. Voila. Voila. There we go. No. Go get him. Here we go. Thank you. We're all.
Thank you so much, Rudy.
Thanks. Have a good trip in Colorado. Now, almost done. Rigpa's art, all pervading from the start, is the completion of the three kayas. So you're already complete in the three kayas. Just feel them a little bit. Let's do that right now. And the differentiation of the meditator and the meditated, there's no differentiation, huh? Is always the existence truth of my own guru, my own Rigpa as the guru, and my own guru as the Rigpa. Coming invited, always already free of synthesis and analysis. The pure experience is there, abiding stably, we're like stable, in the vastness of the all-pervasive essence of events. My own Buddha nature is saluted as the dissolving of stupidity or ignorance. And whatever arises via the six senses is offered as the feast of self-liberation. So our experience is the great offering. So we're always offering something, you know. So what you offer is your experience as it is. In this tradition, you offer to take your hand from and place it under that little point by your breath. So you offer your experience just as it is. Its whole range is the very nature, huh? It's the feast of self-liberation, of experience, through experience. Body, speech, and mind are praised as the very nature of three kayas. My mind is the kaya. My speech, my words are kayas. And my body is the kaya, is the vajras. As the great essence of events, free of failure and success, delivering yourself from being free of failure and success, fame and glory. As the awareness of the Guru, totally free of acceptance and rejection. As speech, naturally manifesting. From the state where all that appears is the play of the essence of events. Oma Guru Vajra Guru Padmasiddhi Hung, whatever merit, condition, or unconditioned is met, may it be dedicated to all the beings who are mothers. This is why you give all your merit up. You give that up. It's a way of freeing you from fame and glory and self-achievement. Cutting off the flow of fictional discriminations till we arrive at the permanent existence of the youthful vast body and the rainbow body, the body of light, which is the exalted form of the great transmigrational Guru. Now this phrase, the great transmigrational Guru, it is the primordial Guru that transmigrates in you through that alaya over and over and over again. The transmigrator is the Guru. The great Guru transmits through this alaya, through the different minds and bodies that you are, as you. It's Rigpa. Say yes. Yes. We'll seal that with yes 3 times. Yes, yes, and yes. So, I'm glad you guys are here this morning. So now we're going to form a geometry. And let's just do that like each other. We'll do that. So maybe Chris, you're all empowered up. You can sit right there. Okay. You're all empowered up. Right there. Right. Anybody went to the empowerment on that side? That side? Anybody went to the empowerment? Okay, great. Maybe one of you guys sit here. Anybody on this side right there? Great. Good. Let's fill in these little spots. We love triangles here. You're going to sit right there. Perfect. We love triangles. No, you sit right there. You sit right there. That's great. And somebody can sit here. Great. Right, here we go. We'll sit here. Great. Very good. Very good. And somebody can sit other places. Great. Everybody in? Do you have enough balance? Are we doing too much? Okay. Let's focus here. Maybe maybe one person sit right over there and we'll balance out our little field a little bit. Just one person, mind just sitting right over there. Thank you so much, Jasmine. So let's extend to each other. And then we'll extend to the empowerment that took place this weekend through the people that have had that empowerment. The primordial oneness of the elements. We'll lean deeper and further. And we always love and we honor empowerments. And you can just, if you want, you can just place this on your heart, and you can just pass it around. Just place it on your heart. And we love when people have empowerments, and we love the yoga. And okay. Let's go through these people first who had the empowerment. Resonance, huh? Resonance brings forth everything. And sometimes we even need an empowerment to get the empowerment, you know? You need that openness. You can feel the vibrations of the seed syllables. Thank you so much. Then we can pass it around. Place it under your heart if you like. And there's so many different lineages, there's so many different traditions, so many different ways of articulating, divine experience, as the divine cosmology manifests in humanness. We'll hold awareness. So maybe somebody can sit in the middle. We'll focus on them. Great. So maybe the two people, Marla, maybe you could work on her. And we're all going to extend to her. And actually we're going to feel all three. We're going to feel the flesh, and we'll feel the guru in her from that place in ourself. And we'll feel the guru's deity also, that energy. And then we'll just feel the primordial awareness itself. Without much thought, though, just like feeling. And let's lean into her. Let's do a pass-through. We can lean that for whole body. Then we come back, and we'll just say, like draw a little line down the middle, just like a little boundary. Thank you so much. Great. Thanks. And somebody else come in the middle. Thank you, Mary. And then Elizabeth and Mimi can work together on Mary. We'll feel the guru in our bodies. And we extend to the guru in her. You might be able to feel her teacher. Her teacher's also with a person. That is really great. And sometimes you can feel a Namanakaya person, sometimes the Bogakaya person as you enter. So you can see how everybody has all these different ranges and multidimensional qualities. Let's from the inner heart release the energy to her. The heart drops. Even if you're in front of her, to the right or to the left. And to her hands. You can lean into the purity of her being. yourself in a non-judgmental state, direct perception. Let's pass through her again. Thank you. We're going to draw a little line. And somebody else would like to come in the middle. Great. And Amy, if it's okay, we can have you do a little bit of the lion pose, if you don't mind. Just like you're leaning forward without hurting yourself, just like so. Is that okay with you? Your hands can be on the ground if you want to. Just feeling, opening up. Again, we're gonna extend her from the, and yeah, you guys can work on her from the inner heart essence. Let's extend her. Huh? With the extension of the inner heart essence, let's lead into oneness. Let's do the pass-through. Whole body. Feel the body of light. We can pull back a little bit now. I'm going to feel the guru in her body and in our body in oneness, not two separate dimensions. The non-dual oneness. And then the two helpers will draw Ah on her wrist. And you're going to feel the light from your finger going into her body. She's going to feel it inside the body. But you want that feeling of in the body. Ah, in the body. In the body. Then we're both going to do it. Each one right up here at those 2 points. Right up there at the 2 points there. Ah. And then you're going deep into the light. Then we're going to just draw a finger down like a little. It helps the person hold all that, but with a boundary. Through the great, thank you so much. Beautiful. And somebody else can come in the middle. And then maybe the two people right next to her can work on Barbara a little bit. And let's extend the radiance to Barbara. Let's extend to her gently. Stay a little bit longer. Then we extend to the Guru again in her, in that oneness of the Guru. It's self-arising in our body and spreading through our bodies. Thank you so much. We're going to draw our finger down one time, though. Thank you, Barbara. Somebody else like to come in the middle? Let's extend to maybe, and we're going to extend, and then we're just going to open just a little bit more. We're going to go there, and then just a little teeny pull. That helps open up more and more, so like the past lives, things like that, okay? Extend again. Then we're going to feel, everybody's going to feel their own lineages and that whole refuge behind us, just like she feels behind her. And then we're going to extend them through her. Let's do a pass through now. Then we're going to focus for a moment. Having done that, we're going to focus on her inner thighs to the navel, those geometries. We'll feel them in our own bodies. Then from the navel to our chest, and from the chest up to the throat. Then the throat right through, maybe to the side of our eyes, then to our head. And then we're gonna release the bodhicitta now. The heart drops. Draw a finger down. Thank you so much. Somebody else like to come in the middle? Great. Do you mind coming to a line pose also? That's okay with you? We're going to pull also just a little bit on the lower back energy, opening up into the earth, rolling up, the light coming through the heart center into your eyes, luminous Gayatri channels. We're going to pull a little bit more. And we're going to focus the energy now at the top of our chest and extend the energy down. Energy's coming up and energy's coming down. Then we're going to focus the heart energy direct. First we went down, and now we're going to go direct. All of us can do that together. That little spot beneath the breast, right? That little doorway. Now, having done that, we're going to do a pass-through. We're just going to lean right through her, the inner guru, to the inner guru. View the ascendant column and horizontal column. And then we're just going to touch it a little bit like just holding things. Lower back. We pause. And what's so great about transmission, we're transmitting to her and she's transmitting to us in the co-emerging process in exactly the same way. And then we're going to take our finger and we're going to draw that little line. It's like a little line of differentiatedness, okay? Thank you very, very much. And somebody else. Okay. Would you mind doing the line too a little bit if you don't mind? Just a little bit. You don't have to move your knee. Just a little bit, if whatever way you like doing it. We're going to lean to Chris's upper chest. We're going to pull a little bit. Then we extend the light down again. And some we can touch the lower back, the lower chakra. And then for a moment we're going to focus on his right thigh with the heart essence energy. The left thigh, heart energy. Then the Dantian and the navel. All 3 points at the same time. From the navel to his chest. Like a triangle. Then up from his chest to his throat. I want to feel that resonance. Up to the throat, to the side of his eyes. Then to the top of his head or forehead. Let's do a pass-through now. Openness, entering openness. And maybe the two ladies next we can write Ah on his wrist in the same fashion of writing the illuminating in the interior level. Then we can place his hands in the heart essence posture. Let's lean through him one more time, just briefly. And then we'll draw the boundary. It's quite amazing how we learn oneness, huh? Thank you so much. So glad you're here. And somebody else. we'll extend to Elizabeth. And then we'll pull a little bit, like opening up. But not the outer doors, the inner doors. And this pulling is one of the five-fold functions, right, of Dakini, right? Or Rukala. Intensification, pacification, pulling, transmission. Then different forms of transmission. Let's focus on the inner heart essence. And we'll extend that way to our first. Then through that doorway, let's lean through her completely. Let's do a pass-through to the heart essence. And we meet the column of light in her. Then extend all the way up and all the way down. We go high, about 3 feet higher. We resonate to that chakra, 3 feet higher. Then about 6. Then about 9. All the way up. We're coming down to the lower center again, all the way through the body. We're going to extend through the lower center down into the earth. And we're going to pass through one more time. The whole body. We're going to pause at the inner thighs in our own body, and we'll echo that for a minute. Right, left. Then the navel, and that triangle. And from the triangle of the navel to the chest. From the chest to the throat. The throat right up. There's a lot of variability. It can go right up to the side of the eyes. It can go right on up. You can go to the side of the eyes, another triangle, then to the forehead or the top of the head. We're going to open our mouth and do the breathless breath one time with her, but the whole body like a sphere. And then we're going to take our finger and draw that little boundary. Thank you so much. Anybody else? Just focus, and the two ladies next to Erin can work with her a little bit. We're going to do a gentle pulling on her. That's everybody. It's like going and then pulling a little bit. None of this is effortful. Then we're going to lean through her. It's okay with it. We're going to lean right through her a little bit. We're going to go right with her. We're going to go right into our inner heart essence. Very super gently. With our heads, then up to the column. Whole body. We're going to open our backs a little bit. The different deities come through. Different lineages. All pure. Only masters. And then the two ladies were right on her wrist. Ah. And we'll just rest for a moment. And as we end, we're just going to feel with our Om Ahung. We're going to go Om, then Ah, then Hung through the chart. Om Ahung. And then we'll do the phrase Bodhicitta, Mahasoka, Yana, Datu Ah. And I know we're feeling the capacity of using our voice as method. We'll sit for a while. Then we'll take and we'll draw a little boundary. Thank you very, very much. We'll sit for a minute. Just we'll hold awareness for a minute. So I think there are 3 people who haven't been. 4, is there? Okay, let's just feel it out there. Ready? That 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Anybody else? That's it. So let's feel the 5 people. So we're going to extend. First, we're going to touch all 5 people. Then we're going to pull a little bit. Then we're going to lean through all 5 people. If you have to do it individually, you can do it, but you can go one from the other, or you can extend to all 5 of them. And then we're going to lean into them. through the middle, heart essence, right up through the channel, down to the earth, up, palate opening, mouth open. I'm going to breathe the breathless breath into all five. We'll focus on our thighs and extend that to the 5 people. Then we focus on the navel. Intensifying it. Then from there, up through the breast, up to the palate, or rather up to the throat. You can also go to the palate. Up to that, to the side of the eyes, or up to that, however they wish. And to all 5 people, we're going to do the mantra Om Ahung. Om Ahung. We'll pause. Then we'll transmit bodhicitta. Bodhicitta Mahasukha Yana Dhatu Ah. Then we're going to draw a line for all 5 of the people between us and them. So now we're going to integrate our leaving in our mind. We integrate our thinking and feeling sensation. We'll integrate leaving this situation. We'll integrate going someplace else. We'll integrate arriving at someplace else. We integrate the next day, then the next week. We're going to integrating what's, and we're still going to remain in the awareness field. Great, thank you guys. Nice rainy day. I'm so glad everybody came. This was great. We had a good time. Thank you guys for the empowerment and everything. Great. If we want, we can just take 1 or 2 minutes for sharing, and then we'll go because we want to stay on time a little bit today. Got a microphone. Is there a microphone here? If you guys got to go, you can go. Anybody want to share anything? We won't even use the microphone. Anybody want to share anything briefly? Bye. Thank you. Anybody want to share anything? Yes.
I really appreciated me going over again the whole idea of
You want to pass it the microphone? I think it's right over there. Yes, please, hon.
not doing this as a way of bettering oneself, and also what came for me is a greater freedom in the field today of it's really not about me anymore, if it ever was.
Nicely said that.
Yeah.
Self-improvement. That's really, because you emphasize that for all of us. Thank you. Because then it actually comes from the wrong place.
Yes.
It doesn't have the power,
absolutely.
the light.
Absolutely.
Cool.
The work today was wonderful and full of light, and I'm still in the empowerment very much. And an old phrase came to mind as we were sitting together earlier this morning. It was one for all and all for one.
That's great. That is great. I love that. Thank you. That is great. Cool. That is really great. Anybody else want to say anything? Okay, so I think next week we meet. Okay, that's our last time in August. And then we see who, I think we'll probably start the seminar probably that first week. We'll decide that next week, whether the seminar starts regularly, either the first week in September or the second week in September. No, Mr. Ma's not coming the second week, and people may be going. So how many people think they might be here next week? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Great, great. Then I'm happy to be here. Thank you guys. Take it. And then you guys who aren't here, find out if we're going to meet in that first week in September. We'll see what happens. Great. Thank you guys. Take it easy. Isn't it fun learning step by step? And it's like most things you learn step by step. And then you're not waiting for Godot. You know what I mean by that? Thank you all. See you later. Take it easy. Hasta la vista.